Shalom Israel. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. Hey man, I thought of me that I had to do this lesson, man, based upon, I probably name it something to the extent of who is safe under Esau Edom, the so-called, or who the world knows as the Caucasian man. Who is safe under this man? Alright? And hey, lessons like this, or videos like these are good to watch, man, just to further prove who the wicked is, man. Okay, who the wicked is. Now we know 2/3 of our people are wicked. We know these other nations are wicked because they do wicked things, like incest, homosexuality, eating abominations. Okay, but who is the wicked? Who is the progenitor of the wicked? All right, like the scripture said, called Esau Edom, the border of wickedness. Who is this? All right, so let's get do a commentary on it.
Complete reversal by the Trump administration is a huge win for China. The United States was going to levy some $34 billion in imports from China starting this week on the 6th. And Trump had threatened another $400 billion apparently on top of that. China got what it wants. And by the way, Wall Street also got what it wanted. This story, as you might expect, is barely getting any coverage because Mr. Trump, in an apparent attempt to shift the media's attention away from the China reversal, did something quite interesting yesterday. Some would say maybe really smart. He showed up at the DMZ and crossed over into North Korea, and the media bought it, swallowed it, hook, line, and sinker. You'd think something like the world had changed or something. So if you tune into any U.S. network today, you're going to see that story, and only that story. That's it. That's all you're going to see. It's 24 hours of just that, right? Is it media manipulation at its absolute best? Why? Well, it denies the China victory, right? U.S. reporters don't want to tell you that China just scored a huge win over the United States. It overcovers a meeting which may not amount to anything at all. And then there's another story that the mainstream media may be misreporting as well. And I want to play something for you. This is interesting. Listen here. This is George Galloway. He was on this morning with my colleague Manila Chan, who does a fabulous job on In Question, by the way. Listen to what he is suggesting here about who's really pulling the strings of these protesters.
I have no doubt that there are foreign hands in this trouble. I see this as another of these color-coded revolutions, so-called, that took place in the Ukraine and in Georgia and many other places.
And this guy right here, he's actually known for he's mainly, like, when they do the interviews on RFID chips and how they're affecting the world, he's actually the one that opposes it and saying how bad it is. So I can say with confidence that we can believe his report.
It was actually even longer, but I want to talk about that in a little bit. But first, I want to introduce our guests here. Joining us are two of the best when it comes to this story in particular. NRS correspondent Michelle Greenstein has been all over the China-U.S. story for months now and has done really, cover your ears, groundbreaking reporting. She really has. Also, Boom Bust host, thank you, you can get him down now. Also, Boom Bust host Christy Ali, knows the business, probably as well as anybody out there when it comes to the business side of this conversation that we're about to have. So, Michelle, let me begin with you and the Galloway comments we heard a little while ago. What he seems to be saying is that what's going on in Hong Kong may not actually be what it appears to be, that there's something behind this, something pushing, someone perhaps with an agenda. Is he right?
Yes, you could certainly say he's right, and this is an element of the Hong Kong protests that are not being so that's not being so covered in the Western corporate press. Yeah. No surprise there. So I want to show you something. I want to show you the organizers of these anti-extradition law. They call themselves the Civil Human Rights Front, and I want to show you the members of the organizations of this Civil Human Rights Front. So
these are the protesters.
That's right, the organizers of these protesters. Not all of the protesters are part of these groups, but these are the organizers. We've got the Hong Kong Institute of Human Resource Management. We've got the Hong Kong Confederation of Trade Unions, as well as a number of others. Now, what do all of these organizations that you see listed here have in common?
Tell me.
They're all taking money, and they've all worked with an organization called the National Endowment for Democracy. They've all received funding from this organization. Now, the National Endowment for Democracy has been funding groups in Hong Kong. This goes back to the 90s, but just in the last year, the Hong Kong Institute for Human Resource Management, which is the first thing that you saw on your list there moments ago, got $90,000 in just 1 year, in just 2018, from the National Endowment for Democracy.
Would you tell us, so our viewers can understand, who the hell is the National Endowment for Democracy? Who are these people?
That's right. So who is this NGO funding these protesters, right? Great question. I'm so glad you asked. So let's listen to Carl Gershman. Here's what he had to say. He was actually the president of the National Endowment for Democracy at the time he said this. He said, "It would be terrible for democratic groups around the world to be seen as subsidized by the CIA. We saw that in the 60s, and that's why it's been discontinued. That's why the endowment was created." So here we have this NGO that's been created to, in a sense, do the CIA's work overtly. And let's hear it from Alan Weinstein, who actually helped draft the legislation to create the NED. Here's how he put it. He put it a bit simpler. He said, "A lot of what we do today was done covertly 25 years ago by the CIA." So you don't have to take it from me. You can take it from these men who are involved from the ground up at the National Endowment for Democracy. Here they are saying that this is, in a sense, a front for the CIA itself. And as you know, the CIA loves funding opposition groups.
Well, but you know, a lot of Americans don't know this, right? I mean, you and I this weekend were texting back and forth about the fact that just as back in 2009, the United States actually perpetrated a coup in Honduras.
Right.
The country where we're having all these problems now with all these immigrants coming.
That's right.
The Obama administration, and it was led by none other than Hillary Clinton, right?
That's right.
That's kind of,
and that's just
we do this.
Many right-wing coups that the U.S. has supported in the past. Of course, the National Endowment for Democracy was involved in Honduras as well, though. That's a good point.
Right. So now, let's look at who the CIA is. All right. Quick Google search. What is the CIA? Now, the CIA, as many may know, is a Central Intelligence Agency. The Central Intelligence Agency is a civilian foreign intelligence service of the federal government of the United States, tasked with gathering, processing, and analyzing national security information from around the world, primarily through the use of human intelligence. You know? So this is a federal agency based out of the U.S., started and founded, all right, in the USA, all right, and just like we just heard, all right, with evidence for those who may be gainsayers, all right, that Esau Edom, basically what they just said is that America, all right, which America is in the scriptures represent Babylon the Great. It's also known as Sodom and Egypt. All right, it's also known as the beast. All right, which the beast, all right, basically represent Rome, and America is that new leg of Rome. All right, he's the strongest power throughout the known world. All right, and the ancient world when you go into the ancient Roman Empire. All right, and you know, this society. All right, this corporation, this business, this country, all right, which represents, you know, the what's the word I'm looking for? The house, if you will, of Esau Edom. All right, this is where Esau Edom pushes his wickedness. Hey, this place has to be destroyed, and that's yet another reason, because when like the scriptures say, when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. All right, the scriptures also say that you know, Esau Edom can't go to sleep unless he does some wickedness, man. You know? And nobody's safe under the hand of Esau Edom, man. You know, nobody's safe under the hand of Esau Edom. Now, I had a, just did another Google search under what does the Bible say about troublemakers, about instigators? All right, so this one, they all were good, but this one stuck out to me, which I'm gonna get. Proverbs 24. All right, so let's get that. Proverbs 24. Said that was it, right? But I'm gonna just read it from here. All right, so this is Proverbs 24. So this is Proverbs 24 and 8. But you know what, Salakia? You know what, yeah. I'm gonna get that, and then I want to get the jump to Job. So this is Proverbs 24 and 8. It says, whoever plans to do evil will be called a schemer. The devising of folly is sin, and the scoffer is an abomination to mankind. All right. It also makes me think of, as I read this, Psalms 5 and 5. All right, how the Lord hates all workers of iniquity. And the so-called white man, all right, or the Caucasian man, let's go with that, all right, which is biblically known as Esau Edom, is he's the man of sin. He's the one who always walking around doing wickedly, man, which he's an abomination to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, and the scriptures say he's a vessel of wrath fitted for destruction. We see why. It also makes me think of, you have the other scripture, I can't remember exactly where it is, but it says that his tongue walketh through the earth. I think that's how you say it. Let me see. I can't find it, but the scriptures say how the wicked, his tongue walketh through the earth. That's Esau Edom, man. Right? Who is his tongue, or who is his strength? What is his strength? One of his strengths, which he has many strengths, many bands, is the CIA, man. All right, what they even show you that in certain movies, like I'm trying to think of that movie. Mission Impossible, which he has many movies to show you. All right, where he has certain like they call them sleeper cells, or certain operatives, who are basically work as undercover in these certain countries. All right, and they out there to either gather intel or start mischief. All right, and like they just said in the RT, they create many coups, man. It actually just came out, all right, that the coup, all right, to oust Nicolas Maduro out of Venezuela was planned, all right, which was by no surprise, because Esau Edom is the instigator. He is the wicked, all right, upon the whole earth. I thought it was more in this Proverbs 24, but I guess I'll find, get something else. And that's why the scriptures say in Isaiah 14, when thou laid down, the whole earth is at rest. You know, speaking about environmentally, because you have chemtrails and, you know, Esau's deforestation. All right, and for that, you know, these animals have to change their places, man. You know. Let me see. See, I might want to get this in my sword. All right, so it says a forward man sows strife. Actually, I'm gonna start at Proverbs 16 and 27. An ungodly man diggeth up evil. You know, when you dig up something, that takes work. You know, that means it wasn't there on the surface. You know what I'm saying? You had to put in extra work just to get to it. And in his lips, there is a burning fire. All right? And Esau's lips, all right, going into the other precept, which I had quoted, is that his tongue basically goes throughout the earth, man. You know, and Esau's lips is what? His media. You know, pushing the earth and the world to, you know what I'm saying, come against a certain country, like they're doing with Iran now, for his own gain. All right, because they won't bow down to him. And that's basically the synopsis of these coups. All of these coups, because that particular president won't bow down, all right, or succumb to the wickedness of America. Therefore, you know, they'll make a coup, all right, and push these other nations against him. All right, and that's we understand is that's why all these other nations, like the scriptures say, they that were at peace with thee basically have brought thee even to the border. You know, because these other nations that are confederate with Esau, you know, they see that these are the people, all right, which we're talking about America, also known as Babylon the Great, that are creating all the mischief within the world. All right. So it says, a forward man sows strife, and a whisperer separateth chief friends. A violent man enticeth his neighbor, and leadeth him into the way that is not good. All right. He shutteth his eyes to devise forward things. Moving his lips, he bringeth evil to pass. You know? And this devil is bringing evil to pass, man. You know? Which, hey, he's, you know, in his actions, he's bringing, you know what I'm saying, this RFID chip to pass. He's bringing World War III to pass. You know? Great death to pass. You know, with his legislations, you know, and his the way he just moves, man. You know, so as long as Esau Edom is in rulership, you know, no one's safe. This is Job chapter 3. Verse 13, and this is Job. You know, he was catching so much hell. He was just, hey, he was never born. So it says, for now should I have lain still and been quiet, I should have slept, then I have been at rest, with kings and counselors of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves, or with princes that had gold, who filled their house with silver, or as in hidden untimely birth, I had not been as infants which never saw light. You know, a stillborn. It says, there the wicked cease from troubling. So in the spiritual world, you know, even the wicked aren't doing wickedly, man. You know, so basically meaning that while they're on the earth, they're doing wickedly. All right. So hey, man, once Esau is cut down, Oh, proving a point. Isaiah 14:3. And it shall come to pass that Yahweh, God Shem Yahushua, shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage where thou was made to serve. Which the hard bondage wherein we were made to serve. Which of course, from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because of the curses, because we went off. But it was spearheaded, alright, or it was carried out by Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Alright, which in the scriptures he's also known as Pharaoh. Because Pharaoh, he was the leader of ancient Egypt. Just like the so-called white man, alright, is the spearheaded, or he's the ruler of modern Egypt. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressors ceased? The golden city ceased. Yahweh had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Alright, so once Yahweh breaks the staff of the or the rulership of the wicked, which we patiently waiting for, man. You know, we pray for that every single day, man. The scriptures say, give him no rest till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. You know, right now we're not a praise. Right now we're looked at as blacks and immigrants. Who? Because of Esau Edom, because of the tongue of the wicked, like the scriptures say. You know? So Esau Edom got to be taken out of the way, man. And that's the only way, alright, that basically the world can live in peace. Alright, which, you know, it's still going to be an upper echelon, which is Israel, the elect of Israel, and Israel as a whole. You know, which we're going to be over these other nations. Alright, but we're not going to be, you know, starting wars and, you know what I'm saying, pushing homosexuality and putting chemtrails in the air and putting plastic bottles out there for the water to be polluted. Alright, putting concrete on the ground. You know, we're not going to be, you know what I'm saying, doing extra shit, extra wicked. We're not going to be doing wickedness, alright, as Esau Edom likes to push. Alright, our rulership is going to make sense, man. When we do things, it's going to make sense. It's going to be beneficial. Okay? That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressors ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continuous stroke. He hath ruled the nations in anger, as persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. The whole land, the whole earth. Alright, that's his country, territory, district, region, tribal territory, piece of ground. It says, inhabitants of the land, Sheol, land without return, the world. Alright, so the whole land will be at rest. Alright, because that hard bondage with really he made everybody to serve is being taken off of them, man. You know, everybody in the world is being taxed and having to work their ass off. Alright, being crammed into little apartments, you know what I'm saying, where they're living on top of each other. The scriptures say, woe unto him that joineth house to house. Alright, the scriptures say, woe unto basically a man that, you know, life with mankind, or man that life with beasts. But Esau Edom likes to give them you know, rights. Esau Edom likes to, you know, bash those who hate iniquity. You know, so this is why this man has to be taken out of the way. You know, so with that, Lord willing, you are edified. Shalom to the elect.